Good afternoon, Standard 9 students. Now again I am going to have a repetition of the poetry television. Alright. Now the poet, let me make it very clear, the poet is actually not against you watching television, but it is a kind of a warning given to parents that continuously watching television can be very detrimental or vulnerable to your child's brains. How it damages the brain. So in a very humorous way, he has explained certain things to us. The first thing he says, the main concern, the most important thing we've learned so far as children are concerned is never, never, never let them near your television set. So the first warning is because they're very concerned about the growth of their children. So the first thing is never allow them to sit in front of the television set for a long time. Or better still, now better still means a better advice is just don't install this idiotic thing at all. Now what is this idiotic thing? It is referred to the TV set or television. Okay, so it is called an idiot box. In almost every house we watch them gaping at the screen. He says every house that we go and visit, what do we observe? We observe that the children are engrossed in watching television. They are busy watching television. They loll and slop and lounge about. Now usually the television set is in the drawing room, so they have a sofa set and they do not sit in the correct posture. They very haphazardly they will sit. Sometimes they will shift from one position to another, but they sit and stare and stay and sit. Even if they are shifting positions, but their eyes will continuously be fixed on the screen. Whether you sit and stare or stay and sit, it is the same thing. The eyes do not move away from them. Okay. Last week in someone's place we saw a dozen eyeballs on the floor. So last week they went to somebody's house and there they saw a dozen of eyeballs on the floor. Now this is an exaggeration. Okay? Your eyeballs don't come out from its socket and start dancing on the floor. What it means that the children have watched television continuously for a very, very long time. And there is so much of strain in the eyes as if the eyes are going to pop off. Okay. Now, when a poet uses these terms, a dozen of eyeballs on the floor, what is he doing? He is exaggerating. Okay. Now when he is exaggerating, there is a technical term which is called hyperbole. Hyperbole. Now these are one of the techniques to add another flavor to the poetry. That is why he says now he is only expressing how much of television the children are watching, that there is a big strain in the eyes. So that is the height of exaggeration, and these type of exaggerations are called hyperbole. Okay. Until they are hypnotized by it, until they are absolutely drunk with all that shocking, ghastly junk. Now, the television seems to attract. It is like a magnifying magnet. It attracts something towards it. Like a magician or a psychiatrist, they use the power of hypnotism. Now, a magician, while he is performing magic, he has hypnotized you. He will bring you under his control. Now, if I am holding a book in my hand, all of you can see a book in my hand. If I am the magician and then I hypnotize everybody in the room and I will look at it as a bouquet, a bunch of flowers. Over there you will look at my hand holding a bunch of flowers or a bouquet. A psychiatrist, what does he do? Anybody who is suffering from depression or any kind of mental problem, they consult a psychiatrist. And what does he do? He wants to go deep inside you to see actually what is troubling or what has gone wrong, which was the cause of your depression. The first thing he will do is, he'll make you sit and then he'll use a pendulum. And he will tell you to follow the movement of that pendulum till he gets you under his control. That is called hypnotism. Okay. So the TV does the work of a magician or of a psychiatrist, which attracts them, brings them under their control. And children, they are attracted, they are crazy over the television, as if they are drunk. We talk about drunk means not daru pee ke, all that. It is just that they get so intoxicated, they get so crazy, so attracted towards the television. Then it says here, with all that shocking, ghastly junk. Now this ghastly junk is referring to some programs are nonsense. Okay, junk means rubbish. And you and many of you have misinterpreted or misused the meaning of junk. When we say junk food, you think of pizza, chow mein, chili chicken, okay, and all sorts of Chinese food. Remember, junk means waste, rubbish. Don't think of pizza being a very hygienic or healthy food. Okay. So whenever anyone says, let's have some junk food, that means you are heading for eating rubbish things. Okay, the junk, what we call it, is now Diwali time, your parents must have cleaned your house. So they must have removed all the junk, all the waste material, all the materials in the house that has got no value or just rotting in your house. So that is the kind of programs that are also watched by children on television. But they will still not leave their seat. They will continue to watch even if it is rubbish. Okay. Now that is the negative part of it. Now let's look at the positive part of it. Now children are very active. If they are made to sit without doing anything, they will create a havoc. The only good thing about children watching television is that they will sit quietly and watch the television, which gives the mothers a lot of chance to do their household chores. They can wash the dishes, wash the clothes, cook the food, clean the house without being disturbed by the children. Otherwise, if the children are found or not made busy, what they will do? They will climb the windowsill, they will fight with each other, they will be up to all sorts of mischief. Then the mothers will get disturbed. They wouldn't know whether to cook the food or take care of the children that are causing some kind of disturbances or problem or fighting or somebody hitting somebody. That is the only advantage where the children are useful when they are meant to sit in front of the TV and don't cause any kind of damage or problem, and the mothers are given a free chance to do their work. But that is not what the poet is actually talking about. In a very humorous way, he is putting a very deep message to the parents. Keeping all this in mind, like the eyeballs falling and dancing on the floor, and all these are just something humorous. But what is the main message is, it rots the sense in the head. The brain, the child's brains turn rotten. Okay. It kills imagination dead. Now these children who are addicted to watching television, they do not know how to reason out. They lose the use of common sense. Okay, they only live their lives what they watch on television. Otherwise, nothing else will register. It clogs and clutters up the mind. It clogs means it makes it thick. Okay, and does not allow the mind to grow or to develop. It will always suppress. It makes a child so dull and blind. So what is the effect of watching excess television is that the brain is not made to activate properly. That is why you see some children who are very smart, who are very, what we call very intelligent, but actually the IQ of a child develops only till the age of 5. Okay? Now when I say at the age of 5, it means from the time we are born, our brains begin to develop. And the IQ, the intellectual quest, is only up till the age of 5. After that, it is the extension of that quest. Whatever the child learns after the age of 5, the base is already made. Okay. When a child becomes smart, it is depends how much it is an extension of whatever he has acquired while he was growing up till the age of 5. The rest is the extension of that. Like I told you, if I travel by a car or a bus or a train, it is the extension of my legs. When I use a computer or a laptop or my mobile phone, it is the extension of my arms, my hand. So it's all developed till the age of 5. After that, it is an extension. But what is happening when the children are exposed to excess television, that intellectual quest is now beginning to be suppressed. It's not allowed to extend, it's not allowed to grow more. He says it is compared, it remains as soft as cheese. So that is how it damages the brain. And we parents, we are not aware of it. Just to keep the child busy, we make him or make her to sit and watch television. And then we prefer that the children keep watching television day and night. And then what happens? Even the child's health is hampered. If you tell the child, okay, now it's time for you to take your books, the child will say, wait for 5 minutes, wait for 10 minutes, wait for the serial program to get over, or wait till the movie is over. But they will not feel it is important to study, because the television is a big disturbing element. So, that is why the poet is not actually against children watching television. He is against the harm that is caused by the television to the brains of little children. Okay, so I'll keep it till here. Then I'll be sending some model question and answers. Please learn. Thank you. And wish you all the best for your exams.